Hey, Shalom Akim. Call hello Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim Kakwadash. Double honors once again go out to the apostles and bishops and elders of Great Millstone. They deserve double honors. Salutations go out to the fellow Akim out there on the highways and byways pushing this truth across the four corners of the earth in all sincerity and honesty, trying to wake up the remaining hopeful elect. This is Namal of the DC camp, and this brief video, well, here's MLK, and it's amazing that you can still find clips of this man that when he speaks, it goes to show you that, and I had heard this years ago, that after he won the Nobel Prize in '64, he started to change, and this clip I'm about to show you highlights that. All right, that's why he wasn't very popular in those days, even amongst Jake. All right, because Jake was just tired. You know, the Vietnam War was going on. My mother just happened to be there that day that he was, assassinated, like April of '68. So, in Memphis that day. But it goes to show you that what will it take to rile Jake up and to say, finally, you're not going to get any type of relief here in America. It was not meant. That's why we're out here on the highways and byways, on the street corners, trying to tell our people this very same thing. So I thought that it would be better to let someone that Jake more or less deifies, all right, MLK here, to tell you, and he gives you a little history lesson. And it's a damn shame. I had, this will be one of those videos where I reference a book that I got years and years ago. The author is John F. Barry. It's called Rising Tide, The Great Mississippi Flood of 1927 and How It Changed America. It's an excellent book because it, in some ways, it lets you know how small and interconnected this country is. And they say politics is local. Okay, whatever. But it highlights also, it's one of those books that could go along with the Ralph Ginsburg book, 100 Years of Lynching, what is it, A Person's Unknown, and The Sanctuary, but I can't remember the title now, but Without Sanctuary. So yeah, even though it's not really as graphic as those, but it gives you examples of Jake just trying to basically live, all right, and he goes into it in this clip. Let's go ahead and, well, let me give a scripture first. It's an oldie, but you can't argue with its straightforwardness. This is Micah 2:10, and it tells us, arise ye and depart, where it's most important, for this is not your rest. This is what we're trying to do, wake up our people, all right, because we're coming into dangerous, very dangerous times. I said in my last video, you got 2 weeks now until that executive order 14067 having to do with the digital currency goes into effect. That was signed last March. All right, you get all these distractions. There's other things in the works. All right, and our people just don't take it seriously, and they're gonna get, hey, Jacob's trouble is real. We can see it. We have seen it for a while, but our people want to listen to those pastors and preachers that are full of shit, that were set up, all right, to keep you fat, dumb, and stupid. They're not telling you the truth about the scriptures and how that is about you and I, that we are the Israelites that were brought over here. And Gad was already over here, the so-called North American Indian, and the other northern tribes from the Arctic all the way down to Argentina, the Western Hemisphere here. All right. No, they want you to believe that those are rats. These professional uh, criers and professional victims, all right, that hijacked our identity and are doing all kinds of wickedness in the name of, and when they get caught, they cry anti-Semitism, which there is not such a word. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. You don't even know what to eat now. They're talking about, I'm sure if we just heard this, that they have already been doing it, injecting that mRNA shit in the cattle and other livestock that we eat now. They want to get it into us one way or the other. Yes, I shit you not. This motherfucker got to go. Alright? These are dark times. The planet is all fucked up. It can't. Hey, Matthew 20. In fact, let's get that. There's a reason the Lord said this. Don't you think he would know? This is Matthew 24 and 22. Except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days should be shortened. That's like what you think is a couple of days, maybe 3. A whole week has passed. You know, hey, these scriptures, they're speaking. You know, Habakkuk 2nd chapter. All right? It said, wait for it. Though it tarry, it will surely come. All right? And they're jumping off the pages, these prophecies are. All right, so let's go ahead. Like I said, I didn't want this to be too long. So let's go ahead and hear MLK speak here.
That America freed the slaves in 1863 through the Emancipation Proclamation of Abraham Lincoln, but gave the slaves no land or nothing in reality, and as a matter of fact, to get started on. At the same time, America was giving away millions of acres of land in the West and the Midwest, which meant that there was a willingness to give the white peasants from Europe an economic base. And yet it refused to give its black peasants from Africa, who came here involuntarily in chains and had worked free for 244 years, any kind of economic base. And so emancipation for the Negro was really freedom to hunger. It was freedom to the winds and rains of heaven. It was freedom without food to eat or land to cultivate, and therefore it was freedom and famine at the same time.
There you go. How many times and how many ways can you say it? They did not give a fuck. They put it in your face. They let all these other dirty, nasty Edomites come over here. And by the way, in that book I just mentioned, it gives you examples of how when they came over here, everybody thought, you know, the streets were paved with gold, like we always say. But you had a lot of immigrants during the 19-teens, all right, that were like, fuck this place. And what happened? They got lynched, just like we did. I shit you not. One guy, he was German, I forget the group that he belonged to, but he had a newspaper, and they got tired of him. And one day they broke into his office, they beat the living shit out of him, stripped him butt-ass naked, castrated him, hung him up on a bridge, and shot him full of holes. The coroner came and we deemed it a suicide. Yep. That's to their own. So what do you think they do to us? And it's coming again because you can just feel it in the air. You know, expression is so thick you can cut it with a knife. Well, that's that animosity, that's that hatred boiling up. All right. And again, Jacob's trouble, what do you think that's all about? We don't have the means, the vast majority of us don't have the means to stock up like these stupid ass fucking, what do they call them? Excuse me, these people that stock up all this shit out, you know, there's a name for them, it'll come to me. But then the stupid assholes put it all out there for everyone to see what they got. It's so fucking stupid. I guess not realizing that there's an executive order about that, about hoarding. So they thought this has been well planned out for decades now. They know what they want to do. They're just waiting to execute. All right. And like I said, when this, is it the 13th? It's December now. I think the 13th of this month that the executive order goes into effect. Oh boy. And then you got that national ID. That's in March. That goes into effect. You know. So things are moving quickly. That's why we always say, you know, get your affairs in order. All right. But what do our people do out here? You know, just as the scriptures say, in the days of Noah, in the days of Lot, what were they doing? Same thing they're doing now. And the end result is going to be the same. And then they're going to complain, well, I didn't know about it. Well, you wouldn't listen. And not only that, you wouldn't believe if you did listen. Excuse me, you heard, you didn't listen. There's a difference. All right? So Jake is about to be in a real dire straits here. All right? Because you're going to have power outages. A lot of people don't believe the examples are overseas. That shit's coming here. They're trying their damnedest to get rid of, because this country, America, has the most guns of any country in the world per citizen. So they want least resistance as they can. So there's a method behind this madness. You know, they're going to exploit, even if they're not behind it, they're going to exploit these shootings for all they're worth. All right, try to get legislation passed, you know, shit like that. That's how this devil rolls. But, you know, the time is getting short, so he doesn't have much time. So, hey, Revelation 12:12. So you're going to see some things that you wouldn't ordinarily expect from America. Talked all that shit for all these years about how great and how different. Same people that run the world run this place here. Those elite banking families. And the familiars under them that want to be them. To be like them, at least. Hey, so like I said, it's going to be a short video. There's nothing much more to be said. Just I have to get into these scriptures. Pray, pray, pray. Every day. Pray without ceasing, as the scripture says. All right. But first, you got to know who you pray to. All right. Most High's name is Yahweh, and the Son's name is Yahweh Shai. Those are the two entities that you pray to. You got to go through Yahweh Shai the Son. All right. Get to the Father. There's no other way. Hey, so with that, once again, this has been a video about MLK, speaking how Black America got screwed and continually does so. All right. So with that, hey, shalom.